Hello, my friends, and welcome to another installment of the indie devlog for my upcoming game, Dice and Sword. Hopefully coming to mobile and Steam, but definitely to mobile and hopefully in 2024. The progression of the game has come a long way since we last talked. I've done two major things since the last devlog. I turned 36 and got to spend that time away from home and work with my family. It was good. I'm older, but we're all getting older every day. It's an honor to get older. And the second thing that I did is I started implementing actual events and special tiles to the game. So the last devlog, I showed you that we had the board, the prototype in place, a single dice where you could roll it and the player would go around the board in a loop. That was great, but now we have to do some stuff with this. So the first thing you'll notice is that there's now a second dice, and this allows you, the player, to go further around the board and gives us potential perk things like when you roll doubles, you could heal up, or you could gain gold or gems or such forth, and other combinations like that. But the other thing is you have the choice to roll either both of the dice at once, or you can tap and hold on one of the dice to just roll that single dice. And this really changes up the gameplay in a lot of ways, because instead of it completely being random, now you have a little bit more control. If you want to land on a tile that's 3 dice away, in that sense, there's a strategy to roll the 1 dice instead of 2, so you have a greater chance of hitting that. You still don't control exactly where the player goes, but it's a little bit more likely that you can make the player go where you want to. Or if you're trying to miss a tile, you don't want to land on a trap tile that could hurt you when you're about to die, you might want to roll doubles if that tile's 2 or 3 spots away, so that you have a greater chance of avoiding it. This gives the player some control in what would, up to this point, have seemed like a mostly randomly, RNG type based gameplay. We don't have the combat in place yet, but that's going to be the next devlog, where you'll finally begin to fight monsters and bosses. But what we do have is these fancy little treasure chests on the map, and these will spawn around the map randomly, procedurally, every time you start a new game. And if you land on them, you'll have a choice of gaining gems or gold. Gold is the in-game currency that you'll use to buy upgrades, make your attack stronger, or other stats. And the gems are going to be the game's permanent progression currency, which you'll use to permanently upgrade certain stats, like your max health or defense and such forth. The other tile you'll notice is the castle tile. It's actually called Watchtower. When you land on this, it costs a certain amount of gold to purchase, and that changes based on what board you are, where you're at in the game, and such forth. It's not a static cost, it's dynamic. And if you have enough gold to purchase the Watchtower, then it's yours. Now this is kind of where we're taking more ideas and concepts from Monopoly, because the next time you land on this tile, the Watchtower, if you own it, then you now receive gold. And you could potentially receive more gold if you own more watchtowers. So you want to collect these so you can build up your riches. But it is an investment that costs you gold up front. Now, these are the only tiles on the board so far. There is a difference in them, though. The treasure tiles, when you land on those treasure chests, they're gone. The rest of the game, they become an empty tile. When you land on the castle, the watchtower tiles, they actually stick around. And of course, every time you land on them, you're gaining that gold and building up your net worth. So these are two different types of tiles that you'll see in the game. Ones that are one use and ones that are permanent for that board. So in the next week or two, and in the next devlog, you'll see the battle system start to come together, where you'll see enemies and bosses that the player has to fight and that fight against the player. I'm still refining the mechanics of how this is going to work. It's going to be somewhat turn-based, or there's going to be some kind of timing and strategy built into it, where you can kind of go round and round and volley. And we'll introduce the player's health and other basic stats, and we'll introduce more events in which the player can land on and have different things happen. So the complexity is only going to go up significantly, and in ways that make each run of this game more and more unique. But it's come a long ways from when we talked about just the concept and then showing the early prototype and the player going around in a loop. Now there's a little bit of strategy. Now there's a little bit of control. Now there's a basic ecosystem of gold and gems in the game. But there just needs to be a lot more of that. Now is the time to really pound in new tiles, content, the battle system, the leveling up system, the stats, and so much more. And you guys had some really good ideas in the comments. So if you have any ideas for the game, let me know, because I'm implementing it all heavily based on feedback from people in the videos and in the Discord server. If you haven't checked out the Discord, also, Genetics Games Discord server has a lot more details, screenshots, and kind of daily updates on the progress of Dice and Sword. You can also check out Knight's Run and Lone Tower, my other mobile games. They're very fun, and you'll probably see that there's a lot of similarities in the builds of these games. That's just the way I do it. And I went through a little dip a couple days ago where I wasn't sure where to go next with this game and what to add and how it was going to all come together. And in the last day or two, the motivation has just gone 200 up. And I think a lot of indie game devs probably go through these highs and lows, but right now I feel like I'm ready to implement a ton. So the next devlog is going to probably be significantly better as far as what we get to see in the game. It's going to start coming together. So thanks for watching, and I hope you guys have a good new year and you're staying warm depending on where you're at. It's really cold and windy right here. So yeah, take care of your families and have a good one, and thanks for watching. Bye.